How did you guys meet?
You want to take this one?
Well, we've known each other since high school, since we were 14, or I was 14, I guess. He was a junior and I was a freshman, and we were just like best friends. And then you can take over.
Yeah, so, we grew up together. We went to Wakeland High School in Frisco. She actually dated one of my teammates. Sorry, bro. My bad. We grew up together, and, we actually reconnected recently on a little bit more of a romantic level because of, just pretty much quarantine. I mean,
honestly, COVID-19 brought us together.
Yeah, we started hanging out a whole lot more because she was living in Los Angeles and she was working out there for the past 10 years, and we kept in touch. But obviously, when she moved back here during the lockdown, right at the beginning of the quarantine period, we started hanging out a whole lot because we didn't really have much to do, and so we kind of reconnected. And I was
mostly
like, "You're not
because
so bad."
he was posting videos of his really cute cats, and I DM'd him, if you will, about his cats, and then we just rekindled. We're like, oh my gosh, how have you been? It's been years. We've always stayed in touch, but not consistently.
Yeah.
And then we just hung out. We're like, oh my gosh, how you doing?
Yeah. So TikTok brought us together. So you can let Jason McQuarrie, Evan Stewart, all the TikTokers of Liberty High School know that Coach Schiumo.
There's love out there.
Is that dude, man? I mean, it came through. So
Yeah.
Get at me, Yeah.
So how did y'all exactly rekindle? You said TikTok, but
So it was actually, was it Snapchat or Instagram? So every Sunday he would post Wet Food Sunday for his cats.
It was Snapchat.
It was Snapchat, yeah. Where he posts videos of his cats
And
eating
TikTok.
wet food, and it's he does this whole wrap. It's a whole thing. Every Sunday I would look forward to it, which sounds so cheesy, but I was oh my gosh, I would show my roommates when I lived back in California. I was look at my friend from high school. I was his two cats are so cute. He's making this funny wrap thing. So after weeks of watching it and creeping on it, I messaged him and I was oh my gosh, I look forward to this every Sunday. And that just kind of kindled a conversation where oh my gosh, have you been? We both got out of a really serious relationship, and we were just talking about that. And then I came to visit Texas for quarantine. I visited my parents, and then we just met up, and we were oh my gosh, it's been so long. And we've changed but are still the same. We're just more grown up, I guess. So we matured.
Yeah. I basically, it was a little ongoing weekly thing. It was called Wet Food Sunday. So I always hype my cats up hardcore. And so I started recording it because my sister was dude, you need to record this. You're gonna go viral.
It's hilarious.
So I started of course I hype them up before I give them food because they're going nuts. And so I was recording it, and I posted it on my Snapchat story for my close friends to see.
Every Sunday.
But then I posted on TikTok too, and it kind of went a little viral from there. As it had a ton of views and a ton of likes, a couple of the videos, and yeah, I guess it got her attention. And
So basically his cats are what brought us together.
yeah.
And how long have y'all been together? Dating?
I mean, it's late March, early
Yeah.
April, so.
Almost shy of a year, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we went Facebook official in December.
Recently.
Because she officially moved here from Los Angeles, so that's kind of the big
We're kind of
step.
waiting for the big move, and I officially moved here.
So she we dropped it on social media in December, so everybody was in just complete shock and
Facebook
awe.
official.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
And what is y'all's favorite memory about each other?
Memory. I don't know. From high school or recently?
Oh, I mean, either probably.
I mean, I'm going to say from high school. So I was in German, and he would always come into my German class to the point to where when we hung out 10 years later, I thought we had German together because he was just always in there just hanging out in the back.
Yeah, basically the German teacher at Wakeland, he was one of my homies, Mr. Terrasas. You're the GOAT. But I would literally just pull up at any point in time.
Yeah, he would
I'd
like
be
bring snacks. He would just like hang out and like just hang out with that's like how we actually like got close. But that's like one of my favorite memories. It's
Yeah, I
just,
would
like,
literally just walk into class. Like I'd be like, oh, I'm going to the bathroom. And I'd go
Like,
chill
oh,
in
there's
Mr. Ross's
Schiumo.
class for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So he held it down. My favorite memory of Courtney, I don't know. We make memories all the time, but
I know. I feel like there's so many.
yeah, I don't know. So many good memories.
I feel like
to
our first
discuss.
trip to Fort Worth was fun.
Yeah, no, that was a good memory.
The Fort Worth Zoo was actually really fun, which is like so lame, but
One of my favorite memories, honestly, and it sounds cheesy, but the first time she came to the gym with me, and like she's like so anti-gym. Like she's like, I don't want to work out. Why would I do that on my day off? Like what? And I'm like, come on, let's go. Like, you know. So the first time she came, and she was like super coachable, and like obviously I'm a coach, so like I was like, all right, got
was
something
ready
to work
to
with,
learn, yeah.
you know. That was like I was like so proud of her, you know what I'm saying? And so yesterday actually,
I went on my own.
She went on her own for the first time. Like I wasn't there, and she went on her own for the first time. So I was like, whoa, like impressed, you know.
It was like a proud dad moment. I was
was.
like, I'm at the gym by myself.
I was hyped. Like I
Yeah.
was like, wow, and a little butterfly spreading her wings. It's amazing.
Getting muscle.
Yeah.
Getting swole.
What are y'all's biggest pet peeves about each other, if you have any?
Well, we live together, so I feel like there's a lot.
You can go first.
Let's get the list going. Okay, hold on. I have to think about this. Okay. So, on the bed, on the sheets, this is like my biggest pet peeve, you know this. So, you know how like the fitted sheet is always supposed to be tucked under? For whatever reason, every morning he rips it off, so all the sheets like crumble up just on his side. And every morning I like wake up with like bunches of like sheets everywhere, and I'm like, how do you do this like every single night? I have no idea how you do it every single night, because they're like tucked in, fitted, like extra large, deep sheets. That's just like one of my pet peeves, I guess.
One of my pet peeves
Oh gosh.
is just the before we can come to any sort of
I know you're
before we can come to any sort of like plan of attack on how to like attack a situation and like solve something, it's like the world is falling for Courtney. Like, so she's like, everything is like the end of the world. She's like, I just like literally, and she like starts
I
to
feel
like
like that's
freak
not
out.
true.
Yeah, yes it is.
like
And
an
I'm like,
example.
all right, let's go. I was like, let's come to, you know, let's sit down and let's cooler heads prevail here, and let's figure out a thing. And then also, when you're wrong about something, like you'll never admit it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like those two things right there. I mean, literally, she can be wrong, and I could have like a citation from the internet produced by the author of whatever we're discussing, and she's like, no, that's fabricated.
Well, another pet, I guess he just always thinks he's right too, which is another thing that
But I don't argue with you though when I'm right. I'm like, yo, I was wrong. Right?
yeah.
I admit, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I was wrong about that, and whatever. But she'll like
Sometimes.
fight till the death.
If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. Sometimes.
Yeah, 3 weeks later.
What do your friends and family think of your relationship?
Well, my mom's obsessed with him. My family loves him. Everyone approves.
I mean, our friends are kind of hyped because, I mean, it wasn't really, you know, much of a change because, I mean, a lot of our friends are the same people
yeah.
from high school that we grew up with.
It was just like a funny thing where they're like, oh my gosh, y'all are dating like Kenneth and Courtney from high school. Like, it's just like funny, like rekindling like 10 years
Yeah.
later.
Everyone's really supportive. And, you know, everyone's always wanting to hang out now because it's like a 2-for-1 special.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
bring
fun.
Kenny, bring Courtney, like,
Yeah.
you know, so everyone's really supportive of it.
How do y'all view like dating in high school versus dating like being adults?
I mean, I dated in high school. I dated a guy throughout the 4 years of high school. And I mean, I feel like young love is like inevitable. Is that like the right word for it? I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's almost the same. Like, I feel like dating in high school and dating when you're an adult is almost the same. Like, because, I don't know. I don't know how to explain this. Because I feel like it just, like, depends on, like, who you're talking to, who you're dating. Sometimes guys, depending on their age, like, a girl who's 22 and a guy that's 22 are completely different ages. I feel like a guy that's 22 still acts like he's like 16 in high school, and a girl's like, okay, I'm ready to like settle down, let's get this going, I want to get my life started, and guys are still like, let's go. I don't know.
The biggest thing for me, the difference between like dating in high school and being an adult is in high school you have like your little bubble of people, like you're always around and everything like that, and so you have like a base of like who you're probably going to date because they go to the same school as you most likely, or if they don't go to the same school, they live in the same city,
Right.
or whatever the case is, and like everyone kind of knows each other. But as an adult, I mean,
Options are endless.
yeah, I mean, options are endless, and you don't really know like where to find people. Like, do I find someone? Do I go out? Am I going to meet them at the gym? Am I going to be on an app because like the apps are
Yeah.
huge now in dating? And like, you know, when I came out of my last relationship, it was a long relationship, and dating from the time I was 21 until I was 27, it changed so much. Like, you know, when I was first into that relationship, like dating apps were kind of a thing. You know, it was like your typical like, you know, Match.com stuff. I mean, that
Yeah.
wasn't even really considered an app. It was like
eHarmony,
a website,
yeah.
you know, and then like all the apps came about, like the free apps like Tinder and Hinge and Bumble and like all that stuff, and everyone was going on dates from the apps and stuff like that, and I just had no idea where to start. But, you know, being an adult, the difference is there's just like, you know, such a bigger net that you have to
Yeah,
catch
because in high
fish,
school,
you
I
know?
feel like
It's
you
just-
like know the person's family or like their friend group, you know, like kind of about them, and then when you're older, you kind of just like go blindly into it, like, okay, like
You
I
don't know
know
where to
nothing
start.
about you. Yeah, yeah.
So I guess you're
Then you
my
find out the hard way.
security blanket because I already knew you.
Yeah,
I knew she wasn't weird.
yeah.
Do y'all think that like teenagers can experience love, like especially because y'all knew each other like then and now, like do y'all think that teenagers can experience like love, or is it different than the love you experience when you're like an adult?
I think so. I think you can absolutely experience love. I think it's a different type of love. I think it's like first love, and like everything's new, and you get heartbroken so much like it's just a different type of love, but I absolutely think you can. Personally.
Yeah, I had a lot of loves in high school.
You had a lot. I had one.
I mean, baseball being my overarching love of everything. I was so focused on, you know, my athletic career and then obviously my academic career that I had girls that I liked, but I was never really like head over heels in love. I didn't really prioritize like
Yeah.
a relationship like that, you know. But I think you definitely can because I
Yeah.
mean, right after high school, like right after I left high school is when I met my first girlfriend. I was like, that like true first love. It's like that's like
it's
the
like
best feeling.
it's like the best and like also like the worst breakup.
Yeah,
it's like
the
the
worst.
hardest because it's like the first time your heart's ever like felt that way. You're like, what the heck?
Yeah, you don't know you don't even know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
So that first like true love that you experience either in high school or like first into college, like that's kind of like when you start falling into it, like junior senior year,
Mm-hmm.
you know, freshman year of college, and like everything is
Yeah.
like pure, everything's the first time, you know, and it's just like the best, but the
The
worst.
best and the worst.
Yeah.
It's the best if you like continue to date them, but it's the worst when like the heartache kicks in.
Yeah.